So for this pumpkin, I'm going to be using the Woolies from the Lion brand yarns, and I will be using 3 skeins. So if you're going to follow along and make it in the exact same way I'm doing in this video, you will need 3 of these. And it's the Thick and Quick, and you turn it over and it is super bulky, and it requires a size 9mm hook, or size N. And so I have that right here. And then also you'll just need scissors. I'm gonna use a stick for the stem. I think that'd be really cute. Depending on how big this turns out, I might be cutting it about right there. So we'll see. So I'm just gonna leave the stick as it is for now. And also, might be fun to tie a little jute ribbon around it like a bow after it's all completed. So if you want to do that, that would be a cute little touch also. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do a slip stitch. And how I like to do a slip stitch is grab your end like this and just cross over like that. So you have a little tail and it's crossing over the front there. And then I put my hook in the loop like that. And then I just yarn over and pull through the loop like that. So this pattern is in multiples of 8. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start chaining multiples of 8 until it gets as long as I want for the size of pumpkin I want. And so I'm going to see what, I'm going to say 16 and see how long 16 looks like. And then we'll see if 16 is long enough. If not, I will go to 24 and possibly 32. So we'll see what 16 looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 16. So here it is at 16. That is not long enough for the pumpkin I want, so I'm going to add another 8 so that I will have 24 chains. 3, 24, and so now it's getting pretty long. And I think I'm going to go up one more time, another 8 to 32 chains. So I have chained 32 chains, and so now I'm going to chain an additional 5 chains. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For the foundation row, we are going to slip stitch in the next 4 chains. So you remember you're coming right out of here, so that is not the chain to slip stitch. You will undo yourself. Go to the next one right here and slide underneath the strand, going right in between the chains, and yarn over, pull through, and then continue pulling through for that slip stitch. Okay, so the next one is right here. So you're going to go right in the middle there, yarn over, pull up a loop, and don't let it get too tight, and then go ahead and continue through for that slip stitch, and that is 2. And here is 3. Just spread that chain. 3 and 4. So 4 slip stitch. Okay, so it's gonna look just like that. So in the next 4 chains, you will half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. So the next one, yarn over, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, and draw through all 3, and that's a half double. Do it in 2 more chains. And the last one here makes 4. So that is what it's looking like. And in the next 4, you will do slip stitch again. And so you're going to be going all the way down the chain, 4 at a time. 4 slip stitch, 4 half double, 4 slip stitch, 4 half double. The way I'm doing it, I will have 36 stitches. So go ahead and complete that, and I will see you at the end. We are at the end of the row. This is the foundation row. And so now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn the work over, and we will be working back down the row this way. And what we will do is, when you look down, this is where we're starting, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 slip stitches. We are going to slip stitch in these again, but in the back loop only. And so you can see the 2 loops facing me. And so we are going to slip stitch, not where we're coming out of course, but right here. So go ahead and insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through for the slip stitch. And if you need to, what I like to do when I'm having a hard time getting in, grab that loop and kind of pull it up a little bit before going into it. That always helps me. Here's the next one. Wiggle right in there to get to that back loop, and yarn over and pull through both. And that's 3, and here's the last one. And that's 4. And now the next 4, you will half double crochet in the back loop only. So go ahead and yarn over. This is the next stitch, and we will half double in the back loop only. So bringing up 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through. And we will do that in the next 4. In the back loops all the way across the row. So there are 2, yarn over, go into the back loop of the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops on the hook, and 1 more to complete the 4. Yarn over and draw through all 3, making 4 half double crochets in the back loop only. So go ahead and complete your row of however many you're doing. And so now we will do slip stitches, and you have to turn it a little bit. You can see the V all along. It's like a spine all along here, and you'll slip stitch in the back loop only of the next 4, and then 4 half double all the way down, and I will see you at the end. So now we are going to go into row 1, and this is the right side. I'm going to chain 2, and this is going to count as a half double crochet from here on out. And you're going to turn the work. It's going to count as if it's coming out of, so you can see it's here. It is also lining up and taking the place of the first half double right here. So these were the 4 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are now half double crocheting over the slip stitches to form the pattern. So above these 4 slip stitches, we are now going to half double crochet in the back loop only, and this chain 2 counts as the first one, and it lines up with the last slip stitch we did. So you can see it's going to count as the first half double crochet. So it's going to be chain 2 counting as the half double, then you're going to go into the next one here and do another half double, half double, half double, and this is where that slip stitch ends before becoming the half doubles, and this is going to form the pattern. So I've got the 1, I've got the chain 2 counting as the first half double, and so we are not going into this one, but we're yarning over and going into this one as the second half double. Okay, so now we have 2 more. Here's where the last slip stitch ends. Yarn over, half double in the back loop only. Okay, 1 more. See, that's the last slip stitch we made. Go into the back loop only. And make that half double crochet. Okay, and this is where the alternating pattern starts. And then in the next 4 back loops of these next 4 half doubles here, you will be slip stitching. So let's do that real quick together. Slip stitch in the back loop only. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. That is row 1. Go ahead and complete the rest of the row. So you're alternating. So in the next 4 slip stitches right here, you will be doing 4 half doubles in the back loop only. And in this next 4 half doubles, you will be doing 4 slip stitch in the back loop only. And keep doing that all the way to the end. I have come to my very last stitch, and I just wanted to remind you that here we are with 1, 2, 3 half doubles at the end of the row. And remember that we did a chain 2 turn right here. And so you're just doing your last half double crochet in that turning chain. And it's just, you can see it's just right here. So just pick a spot and just go right in there for your half double. Okay? And then that makes a nice straight edge. And then for row 2, we are going to chain 2 again. And we are going to turn, and we are going to do exactly what we did last time, and we are going to build the almond. So with every row, you do half the almonds and half of the part that goes down with the slip stitch. So here we are with the row with the half double crochet. We're going to do another half double crochet on top to complete the almond. In the next 4 stitches, we are doing slip stitch in the next 4. There's 1, and 2, 3, and 4. Slip stitch. Okay, so row 2 is the chain 2, followed by 3 more half double to complete the 4, and then slip stitch in the next 4, half double in the next 4, and that completes the almond. And I will see you back at the end for row 3. Okay, so row 3, be chaining 1, turning, and we will be slip stitching in the tops of the half doubles. So go to the first half double you have here and slip stitch into it. Go to the next. And that is 3 right there. And 4. So on top of these slip stitch, the next 4, it will be 4 half double. Okay, I have completed row 3, and so I will do another chain 1 and turn it over. And I will basically do it all again. I will do another 4 slip stitch here. So I will slip stitch in, so I'm coming out of here. So I will slip stitch right here on the top of the last slip stitch that I did at the end of this row, and do 1, grab it with your hook if you need to pull that closer to get in there, 2, grab it, 3, and 4. All right, and then I will be building the second half of the almond with 4 half double up here. And that is row 4, and that is the pattern. And so go ahead and complete this row, and then I will show you a little trick to kind of help keep you on track with your rows. Okay, so you can see that this is how the pattern is with our almonds that we make 1 half at a time. So the almond is half and half. So each row you're building the almond. And we ended our row here with the slip stitches on top of slip stitches. So we are now ready to build an almond on the edge. So now you know how to do it, and what you can do is just keep track and just say, number 1, that you're starting the row with the chain 2 half double. The second one, you're doing it again. Third, you're doing the chain 1 slip stitch. And you're doing that the same. Okay, and so this is what it's looking like so far. And what I need to do is measure this to see how high it is, and then I'm going to build on the rows 3 times the height of this for the pumpkin. So I have got a pretty good length, and I'm just going to double check that this is 3 times as long as it is high. So this is my height here. Okay, so I'm just going to slip stitch the edges together. The yarn is on the opposite side of the panel closest to me, so I'm just going to flip that, get this over to the left because I'm right-handed, and I'm going to just tuck this tail in and just line them up. So I've lined it up, and go ahead and just go through both strands of that stitch and line it up to the other side, and pull through all 3 for the slip stitch. Okay, and just line it up as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just line it up and just kind of eyeball it. Okay, so there we are. We're going to go into the next one and just find 2 strands. You can see the strands are facing this way. And we'll go into the next one here and slip stitch right there. So one more time. So we got 2 strands facing us this way. And then we got the next 2 here and just slip stitch all the way across. Okay, so go ahead and slip stitch this closed, and I will see you here, and then we will sew the end. So I have done a slip stitch all the way across to join the sides together, and so that's what it looks like, and it just blends in very nicely. And then we're going to go ahead and yarn over one last time, and I just like to stick my finger in there to make sure I don't cut the wrong one. Always cut the yarn that's moving. And pull up a nice long tail and cut it off. And we will use this to sew together the bottom here. So this is the bottom now of the pumpkin, and I'm going to connect my yarn needle here and we'll sew it together. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to sew it all together and just sew. You can sew loosely every other row. Okay, so just in and out all the way around like this. And just keep weaving in and out all the way around until you get back to the beginning, and then we'll pull it closed. Okay, so I have completed all the way around, and now I'm just gonna pull it tight and close the hole. Just make it nice and tight until the hole closes. And being as bulky as this yarn is, it will not completely disappear, but it will get small, and then we will just sew the hole together. So I think this is about as good as it's gonna get with as thick as this yarn is. And so what I'll do now is I will sew a knot to secure it here, and then I will sew this closed. As tight as it'll go. You don't want to snap your yarn, which I don't think it would. Okay, and then I'm just gonna insert here and do a knot like that to secure it and make it nice and tight so that it won't go anywhere. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and close up the rest of the hole. So I'm going to jump over here to bring that closer together. And I'm going to jump over here. See, and you're just getting a little smaller and smaller. Keep sewing. So I'm going to grab from the other side. that looks like it's closed pretty well. There's maybe a little hole right there, but it kind of disappeared. I'm gonna feed it through one last time, and then I will tie a knot to secure it. Feed it through one last time, and my yarn's getting a little short. Go through the loop here to make a knot. And then I will just feed through the bottom. And I can make another knot. And just go right into the loop and tie it off. And I might do that twice. I'm gonna do that twice. Okay, and I think I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so the hole is closed, and now it's time to stuff the pumpkin. All right, so just grab your fiber fill, and I got a lot here, and I am going to stuff all this in there. And it might take up just the last bit that I have. Just stuff however much and however tight you want your pumpkin to be, and then we will close the top. So I have threaded my needle, and I've left a long tail for sewing, and I am going to start at the seam where we did the slip stitch, and I'm just going to insert it and just weave through like we did the bottom of the pumpkin, and I'm going to just pull through and leave a tail about that long, and go ahead and sew all the way around the edge of the pumpkin to close. So go ahead and do that all the way around, and we'll close it up. I have my tails right here, and I am just going to pull both of them together. Nice and tight. And like I said, you know, because of the bulk of the yarn, it's not gonna close all the way as with other yarns. So we're gonna leave it about right here, and I'm going to just tie these together to make it nice and secure. And if you have another set of hands, you might have somebody hold it while you do this. But that looks pretty good, so I'm just gonna tie a knot. It's like Christmas presents. And then I can sew this tighter. And then, but I'm gonna leave a tiny little hole for my, my stick. Okay, so I have attached my needle again after tying this in a knot. And I'm just gonna go around and tighten the hole. Even more. Okay, so that is the hole there that will be for the stick, and I'm just going to tie off one last knot. To secure it, cut off the tail and tuck it inside. And then I'm going to take my stick, and this is the part I want sticking out of it, and I think I want it to come up about that far. So I want it to stick out about that far, so I'm gonna cut an additional length right here, maybe even right there. And here's my stick, and I'll put it right in there. And then what I can do too is take some of this and make a bow. Okay, so I'm just taking 2 strands to make it thicker. And I'll just make a little bow. Try to make these even. And that is my fall pumpkin. And then for storage, you can always just take the stick right back out when you're putting it away for the winter. That is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.